My personal opinion, I don't think it's something that screams out to you as a actual authentic passion of yours. I think whenever I hear the fallback, it's something to fall back on, that it rings alarm bells for me. I think the only thing that you can fall back on is your skills. Like whatever you learn and nurture in the next 4 years, that is your insurance policy. That is your retirement fund. It's you. You are the retirement fund, not what your piece of paper says, this, that, because our parents are not, they're not being malicious. It's the God's honest truth is that even 20 years ago, where you went to school actually was the insurance policy. 30 years ago, that was the insurance policy. If 30 years ago you went to the right college, you are set for life. That is correct. But that's not the world we live in these days. So you can't really take outdated advice and, take that as gospel. So
yeah, somebody clip that. That was a good rant. I mean, yeah, I'll take your advice for sure. Because I was really on the edge. I didn't want to do it. I was always a hater of college, back when I was younger. But then like reality kind of hit, and it's like, oh, I'm 18. I have to make my decision. And then,
Really? Okay, yeah, I'll tell him. Oof, we do have to interrupt today's episode because I just got word that you want to get your bread up, you want to make some money with dropshipping, and the sponsor of today's episode, AutoDS, can help you with that. They're one of the top dropshipping order fulfillment solutions, right? They are the ones fulfilling orders for tens of thousands of dropshipping stores, so they know what products are actually selling because they're the ones fulfilling them. And so based on all of that data, they are able to compile lists of new products and add them to the winning product section of their platform where you can see them. And then on top of that, you can even see the ads people use to sell the product. Once you have some orders rolling in, once you got some motion, you can then use AutoDS to customize your products, slap your branding on them so your customers are going to be happier, and you can build something legit. They'll also be happy because AutoDS can offer shipping times much lower than other suppliers, as low as like 3 business days on some of the product. It's insane. AutoDS targets all the major pain points of dropshipping in one service, so you don't have to go around paying for like 10 different services. And you can get a free trial today with the link in the description.
AutoDS. Automate your success.
All right, back to the pod.
also, you've got good people around you.
Exactly.
And that's going to rub off on you. I think if you're at the massive advantage of having good people in your circle, people that can mentor you and guide you, I just don't see how that isn't a better route to go than, wasting 4 years on outdated knowledge and quite frankly getting ripped off.
But then also it's like, I'm not only doing college, it's like half and half, college and in business. So that's also a route I was thinking of taking, but I think it'd be better if I just went 100% and all in into my business,
Listen, I'm not one of those people, especially when it comes to online business, I'm not one of those people who thinks, burn the bridges and just start a business and this, that. Because I hear I even have 34-year-olds ask me, and they've got a wife and 2 kids. They're like, you know what? I'm just going to drop everything and work on my business. I'm like, are you dumb? What world are you living in? You have kids. Don't quit your job. What are you doing? You always have to ask yourself, what do I have to lose? And the beautiful position that you're in is you have nothing to lose. Bro, if you fuck up for the next, and this is also why I'm such a big proponent of business models where you fuck up and it doesn't ruin you. The thing is, this is why I'm just so against crypto traders who are that's how you're going to get rich as a beginner. It's yeah, you could also lose all your life savings and you have no skills at the end of it. Listen, I've made illegal amounts of money in crypto, but I don't think I'm an expert. I just got lucky. I put $1 million into Bitcoin in November of 2020, wrote it, dropped it down, held on to it. I'm no genius, right? So if for the next 3 years, all you did was work on business, and at the end of the 3 years, you had made no money, the skills that you would have learned, you would have acquired far more skills in the real world and actually being practical and being around, gentlemen like you have in the room, than sitting in a classroom and learning from an outdated professor and all this. And you would also have far less debt on your hands as well.
Basically, your safest bet, Bia has a dropshipping course, $294. You'll be all right, bro.
Correct.
I already have it, bro.
You heard it here first.
But I'm going to take that as financial advice. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to come right back to you, and I'm going to blame it all on you, bro.
Yeah, we'll make sure to put a disclaimer on screen.
But I appreciate that advice, though.
No, my pleasure. But as I said, bro, even if you lose $1,500, like I don't mind, I don't ever care that someone tried a business and lost $1,500. That's okay. It's, or $2,000, as long as it's not an amount that really you for the, like, even if you lost $5,000, you tried a business, you gave your all and you failed. It's how you lost it. If you spent 5,000 and you put into a crypto coin and you lost your 5,000, what did you learn from that? You took nothing away from it. Now, if you spend 5,000 and you actually tried to start an e-commerce business or this business or that business, or you invested into education and then for 12 months you had no success, or 18 months you had no success with the business, and then 3 years later you have success, like at least you took life lessons from that. You're gonna blow the money anyways. So for me, it's never about, like, failure is not something to be concerned about, and I don't think people should expect to win in the first year. That's the other issue that, like, you know, it's so funny. I see comments sometimes and they're like, oh, but you know, you always tell people to get rich quick. And I'm like, do you watch anything I put out there? Literally, like, one of my biggest messages is go look at my YouTube. I've been uploading since the age of 15. I was very open and honest when I was broke. I was very open and honest when I used to take the bus to a bookstore called Brixton Bookmongers because I couldn't pay, because I was reading a book a week, so I couldn't afford to spend £50 a month on books. So instead I go to Brixton Bookmongers and buy books for £3. So that way, for £12, I've got my entire reading for the month. Like, you can see all of that documented, and you can see that I failed for a long time. There's clear as hell documentation that from the time in which I got my first client to when I got my second client, 7 months. Now, most won't wait 7 months. If they're not making $10,000 a month within 7 months, they think, you know, something's wrong with them, blah, blah, this, that. Like, people just need to set their expectations. If you told our parents, like, sometimes you just need to sit with someone older than you and explain that you started a business and it's been 9 months and you make $3,000 a month in profit. Most people online these days, they think if they make $3,000 a month in profit within 9 months, they're a failure. Go tell your parents that. Go tell an older entrepreneur you know that. Because here's what they'll tell you. They'll go, okay, yeah, so I took my entire life savings, I invested into a business, and after 3 years we were profitable. Like, we're living in loony land. We're living in a delusional world.
But see, whose fault is that? Like, I feel like even I'm partly to blame. Like, we're putting out these crazy numbers out there, and do you ever feel like bad about it?
I think as long as it comes with I think these things are fine as long as they come with disclaimers. That's why I try to give so many disclaimers around my life. Mm-hmm. And that's why I even try to give disclaimers around the fact that I am currently living the worst quality of life I have ever lived. The quality of life I had 4 years ago, eclipses this 10 times, even though I was making 10 to 20 times less money. So even though people use that barometer of money, I like to, because as I said, I see a lot of people and they're like, oh, have so much money, I'm so rich, my life is perfect. And I like to come on here and say that, listen, if you would like to emulate my life, you can, feel free, but here's the drawbacks and here's the downsides. So I think as long as you are open and honest with people and you tell people, hey, for the first year, just consider it a write-off. Now, if you do end up making $2,000 a month, $5,000, $10,000 a month, because let me tell you, there's many cases of it, and it happens way more than you could ever imagine. Like, making money online these days, it's so simple. It's not not guaranteed to happen. You might stumble and you might trip along the way, but it's honestly never been easier to do it. But you got to go into it with the expectation that for the first year, I won't have any success. If you have some success, great, that's fine. So yeah, to answer your question, I don't think it's your fault if you set the expectation clearly that I achieved this. This is not normal. Don't expect to get the same results, but here is what is more likely.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking on like putting up different kinds of content, your Instagram, man, your Instagram is something else. It seems like your lifestyle is a movie. I want to know what percentage of that is actually your life? Because we were, I'm not gonna lie, on our way over here, we were bumming a little bit. We were in the back of the Suburban eating sandwiches. And we were talking, we're like, bro, would Iman eat a sandwich right here, like this bummy area? So you've built up this like image of just insane high class. Do you ever just chill on your phone?
Yeah, of course, bro. Last night we went to Barney's Beanery. We went to like a bar. Like I enjoy that sort of stuff far more than anything high class or this or that. Like my favorite memories so far this year were in Nepal when we went and visited the schools out there, and we're sleeping in tents. We're spending 4 hours a day, you know, driving through the mountains to get to schools, and we're like, you know, it's bumpy and it's uncomfortable, but those beautiful moments when you're on top of the mountain with just your boys and your team, and you're drinking a beer and you're having fun, like nothing comes close to that. So listen, the stuff I post on social media, I think a lot of people do. Like, my rule is, and you know, I've got my head of production here as well, like, you know, he's the one who takes all the content. Like, Alex knows I will never pose for something. You won't catch me posing. I'll never set up a scene. I'll never like, if you catch it, you catch it. That's it. I'm not going to sit here and try to like look cool in front of this and that. And I think that's why a lot of people likes my content, because you can tell it's like, most of the time it's on the iPhone on 5X. Alex is far away from me. I don't know he's filming. So yeah, it's some snapshots into my life, but I wouldn't tell anyone to go look at my Instagram and try to like take any value from it. I'm always very honest of like what platforms are valuable, what platforms are not. My Instagram is just a little random insights into my life, but you're not really going to get any value or substance from it.
Where you're describing is still beautiful. You're in the mountains. You're enjoying time with your boys. Do you ever just sit there and scroll TikTok?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You're just chilling on your phone.
I listen, I didn't have TikTok until maybe 6 months ago or 9 months ago. I downloaded TikTok because obviously I was getting the stats from the team, and the team were like, yo, you're getting 250 million views a month on our short form accounts. And I was like, you know what, like, I should probably download this and like figure out what this is. So yeah, I've sometimes I scroll on TikTok. Sometimes I like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm a normal human. You know?
See, I can't imagine that because of like the crazy like high
the
class.
Doorman, you never open your own car door.
When was the last time you opened a door?
I open it. Listen, I open the door all the time. Listen, yeah. Listen, I open doors. I open doors for other people. Even my team. Sometimes if I get out and I'll open the door for the team. Listen, it just depends the situation. Sometimes, obviously, I've got security, I've got drivers, but sometimes it's just me. Like, sometimes I wake up and I just want to go for a coffee run, and I get in my car and I go to a drive-through and I just clear my mind with a drive. So yeah, I'm a normal human.
I think talking about it on a podcast is great because, if you just hop on Instagram and you see that, mm-hmm. but you don't see this 2-hour-long podcast, mm-hmm. and you just see only that, then that's where we're confused,
Yeah, makes
sense.
sense.
Have you seen it? Have you seen him open a door today?
Man, I don't know.
Man. He might be lying. It is not confirmed, ladies and gentlemen.
You saw that rant on Instagram on the stories a couple hours ago.
We're on top of it.
Yeah, we're active.
Real time.
Yeah, but what's up with that? How did you just out of nowhere?
I think I was in Vegas last week for F1, and obviously first time in Vegas. I'd never gambled in my life, and I don't know. Just I guess being in that environment, it made me quite sad to see it firsthand. And listen, I've been offered an 8-figure deal plus bonuses earlier this year for gambling. So it's something that I was aware of. And then I saw all these people promote gambling and this and that. And I thought, I was like, what? That's so strange. Like, what addictions could you openly promote and like people are okay with it? Like, I was just thinking about, if influencers out there had like drinking parties and they had 3-hour streams dedicated to just drinking and getting faced, like that wouldn't be acceptable. And then if it was a drug party, like that wouldn't be acceptable. So I was like, why is it that gambling is the one thing that they're allowed to promote and like make it such a idealistic thing? And it's crazy because everyone does it. And I've talked openly about my respect for Drake in terms of a career perspective. And, I had some people be like, oh, but you respect Drake. And I also just want to make something very clear. The same applies to me. You can respect my business career. You can respect or maybe you don't respect my business career, but you respect my stance on this. Like, you don't have to agree with a person in